I sell the best corn and soybean lineup available, handpicked by me for the fields in southern half of Illinois. For years, I've dedicated myself to understanding our unique soils and selecting the perfect genetics to match. My mission was always simple: to help you achieve unparalleled yields and thriving crops. But today, Axis Complete is going one step further. As farmers, you have spent years working long hours and improving your business. It's time to invest in yourself. It's time to invest in a seed company that focuses on your bottom line, not a stockholder's. It's time to invest in your soils for future generations and invest in increasing your knowledge with things you can use the rest of your career. Just to remind you, I'm William Meath, and I'm the owner of Axis Seed IRC, located in Southern Illinois. I went to the University of Illinois and studied agronomy, called crop science, and shortly after graduation, I was lucky enough to be given the opportunity to start my very own Axis IRC, allowing me to join the fastest growing independent seed company in the United States. I believe I have the best corn and soybean lineup by being able to offer the latest genetics, traits, and technologies. I have a goal of providing more than that. I'm driven by a desire to optimize crop health and yield, partially to protect my products, partially because it's always been a passion of mine. Farmers should demand more from their seed company. They deserve to work with someone who is a scientist in soil health and fertility to maximize their farm's output. Through years of hard work, chemistry, seminars, on-farm trials, and just pure dedication, I've grown my understanding and knowledge. I learned quickly that true education is discovery, and discovery can't happen when you only do what you are told, or memorize what you're supposed to learn, or accept beliefs that you don't yet understand. True education starts when you rebel against everything you never questioned. And if the last few years have taught me anything, it's that being skeptical is good. Asking questions can only lead to answers, and that the people funding the research may be using money to influence outcomes that don't necessarily present the whole picture, just to sell more products. So over the past few years, I started questioning conventional methods, taking a more chemistry, science, and evidence-based approach. This relentless pursuit of knowledge and improvement not only shaped my career, but also fueled my commitment to providing farmers with top agronomic recommendations. It has led me to consistently setting records on farms that guys thought were unachievable, and then setting goals higher than that for the next year. It's through the hands-on experience and continuous learning that I've built a reputation as a knowledgeable agronomist dedicated to challenging the status quo and helping farmers reach that unparalleled success. Soils are a farmer's equity and retirement, but they are extremely complicated and complex. My goal is to try to take these complicated subjects and break them down into pieces that you can use on your farm to increase your return on investment. Another way to look at it, soils are a farmer's working capital, and I believe you need to replenish the bank account if you want to keep writing those checks. The first thing with soils. What's their purpose? Turns out soils provide four main things: anchorage, water, oxygen, and nutrients. And the type of soil you have is determined by parent material, climate, life, topography, and time. While there isn't much you can do to change those things in the short run, it's at least a good starting point. As we dive a little bit deeper into the makeup of soils, we find that all soils are a combination of sand, silt, and clay. Sand is the largest particle with the least amount of surface area, while clay is the smallest and it has the greatest amount of surface area. The more surface area you have, the greater your holding capacity, or cation exchange capacity, is. It's sometimes abbreviated CEC. Soils naturally have a negative charge, which is why your positive charges, your cations, will stick to the soil. The greater the surface area from things like clay means the more negative areas you have where the cations can attach to. That's an extremely important concept. all recommendations are tied to a charge. Fertilizers, chemicals, anything you intend to stay in your soils will need to have a positive charge. That's why ammonia will stick around while nitrates leach away. This was the first introductory video. If it seemed simple or basic, that's good. My goal is to have the building blocks in place as I dive into more complicated issues. They will continue to build on top of each other over the whole course of the summer. I'm going to be releasing one every Thursday. We're going to grow and we're going to learn together. I'm also available for a more in-depth analysis on your home farm if you want. I strive to provide the best agronomic service out there in order to let my corn and soybean lineup shine. I work hard to personally pick my hybrids, so everything from fertility to product placement is taken very seriously. And because of that detail, it's going to help you set your yield records. Next week, I'm going to briefly recap the cation exchange capacity, how we measure those cations, and that will lead us directly into the most important part of analyzing a soil: base saturation, and how your CEC levels can affect the difficulty and cost of changing your base saturation levels. Thank you.